Hello everyone and welcome. I have a Christmas wreath for you today. In today's crafting adventure, I'm going to show you step by step how to make this adorable Jack Skellington Christmas wreath. This beautiful Nightmare Before Christmas inspired wreath was so fun to put together. I picked up the metal sign from Walmart. They had so many different items to choose from. You could really put together a gorgeous wreath using their items. Let me show you how to make this festive deco mesh Christmas wreath. Now this is the sign that we're going to be using today. It's a nice large metal sign. It is 12 inches in diameter. It also has some depth to it. And it does come with a single hanger here on the back. Now I picked this up from Walmart. Here's a photo of the tag. I really like this. They did have several different ones. This was, I believe, the only metal sign, but they did have some wood signs that you could choose from as well. So I really liked the selection. This was right next to all the Grinch items, and if you missed it, I'll link my Grinch wreath at the end. So to get this ready to go onto our wreath, we need to add a few more attachments here so that we can attach it to our wreath. And when it comes to a metal sign, I like to use cable mounting pads. These are 1 by 1 inch. You can pick this up from pretty much any hardware place, and they're $3 to $4 for about 10. Now when you get these, they do have a sticky pad on the back. You are going to need to completely remove that. You peel off the paper and then remove the sticky part because that is not going to adhere and stay if this wreath goes outside. So I just use my paint scraper and scrape it off. So I get the majority of everything off, and then I'm going to use Fix-All and a little bit of hot glue to attach it to my metal sign. That's why I'm doing this first. I want to give this time to set up before I go to attach it to my wreath. So I'm just looking to get, north, south, east, and west attachments. That way I know my sign is not going to move once I get it onto my wreath. Now Fix-All usually takes a full 24 to 48 hours to fully cure, but this should be workable as long as I don't pull on it too much in about an hour or so. Once the glue cures, this guy will be all ready to be attached to our wreath. For this project, you're going to need an 18-inch wired wreath form. This one I picked up from Dollar Tree. The reason why I've chosen an 18-inch wreath form is because of the size of my sign. It is 12 inches in diameter. I want to make sure that my sign sits nicely in the center, and then I have a nice thick full wreath all the way around. And 8 packages of the dark green deco mesh that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree's mesh is 6 inches by 5 yards. This comes out of the floral garden section. This is what I consider Dollar Tree's better mesh. This is vacuum sealed. This mesh is much thicker and frays a lot less than their seasonal mesh. Since this wreath form has 8 sections, you are going to need 8 rolls. You want to cut your mesh into strips at 30 inches. Each roll should give you 6 strips. I prefer to use a rotary cutter, but if you don't have one, you can use a good sharp pair of scissors. Now to attach this to our wreath, you're going to be attaching 6 bundles in each section, and each section is between the 2 crossbars. You'll attach 3 to the inner bar and the center bar, and you'll attach 3 to the outer bar and the center bar. We'll be attaching our pipe cleaners to the wreath form first. I'm going to start here on the outside. So I'm wrapping around the 2 bars, pulling snug and giving a couple twists. We're going to be doing the cruffle method today. It's also called the woodland ruffle method. And I like this method because when you use it with Dollar Tree mesh, You can roll those ends nicely and you don't get much fraying. So start at one end. I usually like to do a good 4 rolls with the Dollar Tree mesh. Add a clip. Go to the other end and do the same thing. And then you want to scrunch right down the center all the way across till you get to the other side. So you have 2 curls and a ruffle in the middle. Place it in between the pipe cleaners. Pull it nice and snug. Give a couple twists. I usually leave about a 1/2 inch. Push those ends down. Then I kind of lift up and push over my bundle. And now the next one I'm going to place on the center bar and the inner bar. Just alternate back and forth until you get 6 bundles in each section. And as you're placing your bundles, you really want to place them sideways like this. If you place your bundles this way, you'll end up with a lot of mesh in the center, and around your wreath form it won't be as thick. So make sure you put them in the right direction. And then I like to lift it up and move it over. Because that's what you want. You want it to be lifted up as it stacks next to it. You get a beautifully textured, thick base. I have my base complete and I'm very happy. It's nice and wide and very thick. And as you can see, you get little to no fraying. Very, very pretty, and I really like this dark green mesh. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So the first thing I want to do is attach our sign. And I did go in and string through a pipe cleaner on each of the cable mounts that I added and the hanger that originally came. Now this is at the top and it's centered, so I want to make sure that I attach this one to a crossbar. So the top and the bottom will be attached to a crossbar. That way it's not going to slide or move, and I know that it'll be centered. So just find your crossbar and then take those pipe cleaners, separate your mesh, get down to your wire frame there at the crossbar, and attach it directly to the crossbar. My sign is on, it's nice and attached. I pulled a little bit of the mesh that was pushed down up. I didn't want to take all of it up, otherwise my sign sunk into the back. So I still have a little there. Now you can see how clean it looks in the back by the way I attached my pipe cleaners. Once I got my sign attached, make sure to trim and tuck your pipe cleaners. I pulled out 2 packages of these round ball ornaments. I picked them both up from Dollar Tree. This one you get 5, it's red, and I really like the swirl. I think that goes very well with the wreath. And then to kind of accent some other colors, the white and the silver, I like those. And then you're going to need some pipe cleaners. I chose to use green since my base is green. Let me get my packages open. So I'm making little bundles here of the round ornaments, and I'm using different sizes. These are the 2 packages that I showed you, and then I had several small ones left over and I decided to add a couple more to each. find where they go to hang them, you just want to string it onto a pipe cleaner. And mix up the sizes. It'll make it easier for you when you go to pull them all together. So on this one I have a small, medium, large, small, medium. And then when you kind of pull them together, push them up. I'm trying to get the smallest ones in the middle and the larger ones kind of around them. Pull it together and then give a twist. Now if they fall off like that, just add a little bit of hot glue and glue them back in, because you don't want them falling off when they're on the wreath. I'm going to make 5 bundles of round ornaments. Now I've pulled out 4 different ribbons for my bow. I pulled this one out simply because it reminds me of Jack Skellington. And this is 2.5 inches at 10 yards, black and silver stripe. And then I really liked this one as well. It kind of has a white background with silver in it. It's very pretty. My black and silver I picked up from papermart.com. This one from Costco. Then I also pulled out this beautiful red. It says ho ho ho. This one I also picked up from Costco. These two are, I believe, is it 1.5? Yes, these are both 1.5 inch at 50 yards. And then I have this nice big roll of red velvet ribbon. This I picked up at Michael's. And I'm going to be using my Easy Bow Maker. This really does help me because I do have arthritis in my hands. And especially when I'm making a really nice large bow, it's difficult for me to hold it. So this does a lot of the work for me. I'm going to start here with my red 2.5 inch ribbon. And I'm going to measure my tails at about 10 inches on the red ribbon here. I'm going to pinch and then twist. So here on your tails, the nice side of your ribbon should be facing up. But as you come through and go to make your loops, the nice side of your ribbon should be facing down. Okay, I'm going to measure my loops at 7, and I'm going to do 2 loops on either side at 7 inches. Now I'm going to move to my black and silver. On this one I'm going to measure my tails again at 12 inches. I want some really long tails. I can always cut them shorter once I get them onto my wreath. And on this one I'm going to make 2 loops on either side at about 6 inches. So it's a little smaller loops than the red. Now I'm going to move to my ho ho ho. On this one I'm going to measure my tails at about 8 inches. On this one I'm going to make 3 loops on either side at about 4 inches. And now to this really pretty silver and white. Measure my tail at 8 inches, pinch and twist. With this ribbon, I'm going to do 2 loops on either side at about 3 inches. Then I want to take my red ribbon here with my ho-ho-ho, and I want to measure out a piece at about 13 inches and cut. Okay, make a nice loop. That's going to be your center loop, so make it however large or small you'd like. Pinch. Then you're going to add that into the center. Take a full length pipe cleaner, put it down underneath all the ribbon, bring it right up next to your dowel rods. Just like to bring it together. Pinch it so everything is nice and snug in the stack. Then you can lift out, but you see you have all that ribbon. You need to make sure it stays fully stacked correctly. Push it down, grab those pipe cleaners, pull really tight, wrap it around to the back, and give a couple good twists to secure. Now those aren't going to be long enough to attach it to my wreath, so I'm going to add another one. Just lay it in the center, twist the other two a couple times, and then take the short side and wrap it around the long. Do that to both sides. Now you have plenty of pipe cleaner to get this attached to your wreath, and it's nice and secure. Okay, you can pull your tails down and open up all your loops. Now if you need to do any adjusting, just go right down to where it's tied in and do your adjusting there if you need to do any twisting or pulling or whatever. Open up and spread out each layer of your loops. I really like that mixture of ribbon. I think it's so pretty. That black and silver really sets everything off. Okay, so that's approximately what your bow should look like. I will do my final adjustment once I get it onto the wreath. So I'm going to get my bow attached before I put anything else on. And I want this up near the top, but I want it kind of off on the side. If I want to spread out my tails here and kind of pull some up and some down, I can do that. In fact, I think I like that, so that's what I'm going to do. And to attach it, you just use your pipe cleaners. Once you have your spot, just move all of that mesh to the side till you get down to the frame and attach it to the frame. Just make sure to trim and tuck your pipe cleaners once you have it in place. I have my bow on and I kind of pulled it out. I think I like my tails kind of going to the sides. Now I haven't cut my tails yet. I'm going to work on my placement here of my ball ornaments. And I have 5. So I'm going to work on evenly placing these around, and I'm just going to use my pipe cleaners here. Feed it through the deco mesh and attach it there to the wire frame in the back. Once you have it attached, make sure to trim and tuck your pipe cleaners. But I really like the little clusters. I think they look so pretty, especially when you do different size ornaments. I have all the clustered ball ornaments on, and I'm really happy with that. I think it looks absolutely adorable. Now the last thing I want to add are these really cute little icons from the movie, and I found these at Dollar Tree. So I found Santa Jack, I found regular Jack, Oogie Boogie, Sally, and their pet Zero. Now I'm going to attach each of these to the wreath, and I'm going to be doing it with a combination of Aleene's Original Tacky Glue and hot glue. Hot glue will hold it until Aleene's can set up. Aleene's usually takes 24 hours to fully set up, but once it does, that makes it weather resistant. Even in the wind, cold, or rain, it's not going to fall off your wreath. And here you go. We are all done. I have all my little characters on, and I think they look absolutely adorable. I think they were the perfect final addition to this beautiful Jack Skellington Christmas wreath. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, please give me a big thumbs up and show some love in the comments. If you enjoy craft tutorials and hauls, you're going to want to check out these other videos. And if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, you'll be one of the first to know every time I upload new content. Thanks again for stopping by. It's always a pleasure to see you. You have a great day. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.